Tonight on episode 143 of the Sauce Podcast, how a dispute over a man in Philadelphia sparked an unusual retaliation. What salty behavior might get a Syracuse orthopedic surgeon fired. Great things about Auburn. Our weekly recommendations, tweet of the week. Today I learned with Polly Always, and much, much more. Sauce Pod number 143 is straight ahead. And good evening, SaucePod streamers from coast to coast. It's me, Tony Sometimes, and this is episode number 143 of the Sauce Podcast, coming at you live from inside the FingerLakes1.com studios. Deep beneath historic downtown Seneca Falls, New York. It's Monday, April 7th, 2014. And per usual, I'm joined up here tonight by my saucy compañeros, Saucy Joe. And Mysterious Taco Girl back for the first time in 3 weeks, but only for a brief stint, because she's off to the Caribbean Islands or somewhere south next week.
Yep.
Auburn.
I'm glad to be back.
And Dandy Aaron D had a headache tonight. So speedy recovery, Dandy, if you're listening in, which you're probably not if you got a headache, or even if he was in full health. I imagine he wouldn't be listening in right now. So hey, spring is here, huh, guys? Is it sprung?
It's been raining all day.
Spring has sprung.
Now, Mysterious Taco Girl, when do you feel like it's definitely spring? I mean, sometimes it's changes in the calendar, but usually something happens that makes you feel like, yeah, this is spring. What's that for you?
A little bit of leaves on the trees.
Oh, so we're far away from spring then, because there's not going to be any leaves on any trees for probably a better part of a month.
There's buds. We got some serious buddage.
Buds make you feel like spring?
Well, it's close. It's getting there.
Saucy Joe, what's it for you?
The sun's got to be consistent.
Consistent sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say consistent sun's a good
Right now,
answer.
I don't have any consistent suns in my life.
For me, it's the Masters golf tournament, I think. Whenever that hits, no matter what the weather is. But I think also when you get to a certain point where it's not frigid anymore and you get a couple warm days like we had Sunday here in the Finger Lakes, I think that kind of kicks in. Your mood picks up a little bit. You dress a little lighter. I'm in the short sleeves tonight. But hey, Mysterious Taco Girl, what do you think of that new intro for the Sauce Pod?
I was scared at first because I thought it was just that little bit of song. And then you had your intro.
Yeah, the screen was
so
black.
I didn't think the other amount of song was going to come, but I do like that other part of the song.
Don't think that it's always dark like that, black screen, because it's not. Usually he'll professionally put the camera on him, say what he's going to say, and then do the intro.
That was a technical error.
Yeah, snafu.
But I liked it. I like 70s.
Kind of thing that happens in Auburn.
70s.
It was kind of sounded 70s
I can see that. I see where you're going from there.
funkish.
Yeah, it was time for a change. I guess it's the spring that's in the air. So before this episode started, Saucy Joe said he'd rather be in Auburn than the Sauce Spot, and we were trying to name great places in Auburn. We got Hoops Park, Tubman House. Any more?
She didn't name one yet.
Holiday Inn.
It's a great place.
Balloons Restaurant?
Oh, Balloons
nice,
is a
good
good
call.
one. How about Bambino's?
That's all right. But
Restaurant.
I like Balloons better.
Bambino's recently won the Great Chicken Wing Hunt Contest that was this past weekend, I think, in Auburn.
Great chicken wing hunt contest. What is that?
It's the best chicken wing in Auburn is at Bambino's, according to someone.
Yeah. I don't like those contests.
I ate at Bovines this weekend in Auburn.
How was that?
I just think that's the strangest name for a restaurant.
It is.
really
It's
do.
not spelled Bovine. It's spelled
B-O-U?
Beau, as in like a
B-E-A-U?
southern boy. Yeah, like a young beau.
Huh.
Beau. Vine. Space Vine. So
It's like a steakhouse, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a play on words.
Yeah,
I see
I
what's
suppose.
happening
It was
there. Is it
good.
possessive? Like Vines is VINE apostrophe S?
I
Like
don't
it's
believe
Beau
so.
Vines restaurant?
No, I don't think so.
Either way, it's a clever play on words.
It was all right. They got a really neat bar. Nice bar. One probably the best bar aesthetically in the Northeast U.S.
Really?
Wow.
No,
In Auburn.
in Auburn at least, or at least Eastern Auburn. But the food was pretty good. The appetizers are good. My main course was not that great, but the overall experience was good. You know, I'd go as far as to give it the official recommendation. Although I don't think there's going to be a time soon where I'm like, we're going to go out to dinner tonight. Where you want to go? Bovines, because I think it ranks probably outside the top 8 places locally that I would go. So maybe I should take that
It's
back.
not that great then.
Not a great recommendation. Well, you got ports. You got Bambinos, which I apparently don't like.
Oh, I like it, but I like balloons much better.
You got balloons. You even got the Gouldu, which has been great food lately in Seneca Falls. You got your Emil's. Is Emil's a top 10 restaurant?
No.
No.
Okay. No offense to the fine people that operate Emil's. It's a staple of the local restaurant scene. Yeah, you guys really aren't really helping with any restaurants.
Restaurants don't really throw me.
I like the Wood Fire Bistro, whatever that new place is. It used to be the Smokehouse or something.
In Geneva?
Yep.
The Red Dove Inn, I've heard good things.
I like the Red Dove.
What about Beef and Brew, Saucy Joe's? You're a fan of Beef and Brew, aren't you, downtown Geneva?
I've been there.
I went there this weekend. I enjoy it.
Okay.
I enjoy it more, I think, for the brew.
Than the beef.
Yeah.
Yep.
Food's not my thing, man.
The food's all right. I mean, I had
Ooh.
a beef on whack. You
Just don't-
can.
Care for it.
Rio Tomatlin
Oh, fantastic.
in Canandaigua. That is a Mexican restaurant. Very good. Food. Terrible service.
Horrible service.
And, don't think you're going to get any Coca-Cola or Pepsi products there. RC Cola exclusively if you're looking.
Really?
Yeah. And it's flat. So
It's good, though. The food makes up for it.
it does. And that's saying something because normally if a restaurant doesn't have Coke or Pepsi, then no, it's not my kind of restaurant. So, hey, well, we're short of Dandy R&D here, but let's find out what everybody's drinking up here tonight.
Man drink like that and he don't eat, he is going to die.
We serve hard drinks in here for men who want to get drunk fast.
Bet, babe. Slide a piece to the porter next time I run the job.
Look at here.
What you got there, Saucy Joe?
I have a Sierra Nevada Ruthless Rye IPA. It's ruthless. It's got a very rustic label on it.
Is that a White Walker on the label?
No, it's a... What the hell is it, actually? I never really took a look. It's a woman with a staff out in the field of rye and daisies.
Would you get that again? You liking it?
Yeah, I like it. It's always good. It's a seasonal thing. I've had it before, but it hurts my stomach.
Really? It's too heavy?
I think it's probably the rye.
Could you be allergic to rye?
Oh, sure, certainly. Hurts my stomach. I'm not like it doesn't stop me from drinking it. Let's put it that way.
Not enough.
Will that be
I
the
suffer for my art.
Would that be the same kind of rye as like a rye bread? So
It is.
if you were allergic one, you'd be allergic
It's
to the
a
other?
particular type of grain, sure.
Okay. Mysterious Talker, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a large coffee.
Went large, huh?
Well, I asked for a medium. I received a large.
Yeah, sometimes that happens at the dunk. That's, I got a large coffee with cream and 1 sugar from the dunk.
Next time I run the job.
Look at here. Man drink like that and he don't eat, he is going to die.
Now, this is a part of the show where a lot of people tune out because they just saw that segment and they think this is the dumbest podcast I've ever seen. But for those of you that are left, interesting local news, weird local news this week. A Syracuse doctor, a surgeon actually, federal investigators say a Syracuse surgeon often slapped and how do you say it when you're under anesthesia?
What do you mean?
Anesthetized?
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 Anesthetized.
Well, this surgeon slapped anesthetized patients on the buttocks and insulted them before surgery.
That's awesome.
The Syracuse Post-Standard reports that the Federal Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services found that the doctor slapped patients so hard he sometimes left red marks or handprints. St. Joseph's Hospital Health Center faces sanctions over the issue, including a possible termination from the Medicare and Medicaid programs. And the doctor's name is Michael Clark, an orthopedic surgeon specializing in hip replacements.
Oh.
Now, this is a local guy. Some local folks that we may know that have had hip replacements or may have been slapped and insulted by this man.
Insulted, like they're out and he whacks him on the keister
and says something
"Aren't
funny.
you a big boy?"
That's right.
Something like that.
No, like, what a weird
What do you
thing
say to
to
someone
do.
who's totally unconscious? What do you say to it to insult them?
I can almost understand more people who like fondle or
You're talking.
like I can understand that. I think more than just slapping someone, like because maybe the person doesn't get any and they want some.
Well, yeah, but this
It's
guy's
right there in
just-
front of them, sitting there naked and motionless.
Yeah, but
He's
And
an
unconscious.
to
anesthetist,
just
so
slap.
there's like
Yeah.
there's other people in the room, so he's probably doing it in a joking manner. You know, that's his thing. He's the guy.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Yeah, I think he slaps him and then he says something and then hoping people will laugh. But he's just a weird guy that nobody really likes anyway.
Half
So
of
they
them
don't
laugh and
at
half
it,
of them are like feeling comfortable and consider reporting it.
That's funny, doctor. You get paid way more than you should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think that could be it. It's only explanation because there is definitely people in the room with him.
Yeah.
Although, maybe it's so overwhelmed by the compulsion to slap a bare ass sitting right in front of him that he just can't help himself.
Maybe he plays "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins on their buttocks to start every procedure. Hold on, it's coming up, boy. It's coming. And then he does his thing.
Yeah, that's odd.
Very, very odd local news there that came
Only
down
in
the wire this
Auburn.
week.
Only in Auburn.
Yep, which is basically Syracuse's Auburn East, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Syracuse's suburb of Auburn. Well, without Dandy here, we have no choice this week, which is...
The thing is, that means that Mysterious Taco Girl will have avoided Dandy's choice for 4 weeks next week.
I'm sad.
Because she's avoided it this week by Dandy's absence.
It's almost a full month.
That that the responsibility of this new portion of that segment where we have to come up with part of it has fallen to me and Tony sometimes 2 weeks running.
I really appreciate you guys
We've done
holding
well.
down the
And
fort.
this week and now next week as well. So you better have something banked.
What if I just bring cookies or Rice Krispie
No,
treats next
I won't.
time?
I don't. Sweets aren't my thing. The only way to my heart is for you to create a Dandy's choice, and a damn good one.
No, I'm bad at it though.
Last
'Cause
couple
you
weeks
never
have been
do
pretty,
it.
pretty good ones.
You have no practice. You have no experience. I'm not wrong.
I was hoping Dandy would be here because I saw his automobile in the parking lot of the golf course. I wanted to ask him how he played or if he played. Did you play with him?
I did.
Oh, did you? I
Yep.
played that day.
I saw
Sunday.
you.
You
I have a new car.
It's white, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I just must have not saw it. Dandy's car just kind of sticks out. You know it's him.
I was right next to him.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
wet.
we played all
It was
right,
wet.
actually.
It was wet. Yeah, I was pleased. I played a whole round and played it kind of legally, as legal as you can this time of year, with a plug ball here or there.
Yep. It was fun.
It was fun, and then we opened the bar. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, old Tony sometimes tended bar for 3 hours,
Nice.
and we did pretty well. Seeing the crew that was in there, it was the crew of the former. I guess they're not officially canceled, but the crew from the Chewed Gum podcast. Remember that show? That old show
It's on hiatus.
on FingerLakes1.tv.
I do.
The old Q and
And I
Jay
saw them
Nasty.
down there.
Yep, we were had a good old time on a Sunday afternoon. So, skipping ahead from Dandy's choice, let's get right into the tweet of the week. And this week's tweet of the week comes from @Gary Davenport, who tweets, "I learned French the hard way from a Spaniard." Be easier to learn French from a Frenchman.
Sure, probably.
Yeah, it's still not funny.
Whoa.
Well,
Tough crowd.
Got a couple more here, though, that hopefully you'll
crowd.
find amusing. Like this one from @Leon Earl Grey, who says, "Shit! Just found out I'm the only one who can prevent forest fires, and I've been doing a terrible job."
That's funny.
I like that one.
And @Michael Earhart tweets, "Never tell a parrot your secrets." File that one under obvious.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I got 3 tweets of the week. I tell you, it was not a lot going on the internet this week.
Really?
Did you guys see the thing going around on Facebook? It's like a news story that they found the Malaysian flight, and everybody's sharing it. Like they just see and share it immediately without doing any investigation.
I've become so adept at skimming over that shit on Facebook that I don't even notice it anymore.
Well,
I didn't see it.
forwarded by people on my friends list that I know and or maybe even be relatives of, and I'm just like, what the heck are you doing? Oh, they found the Malaysian airline. I'm going to share it with my friends to make sure that they know. And, you know, the first time I saw it, first of all, the thumbnail picture is a picture of like a plane floating in the water with about 80 people standing on the wings.
Oh,
which is-
that's nice. They're
that's
all
fun.
alive.
Yeah, they
Well,
made it.
Half of
The
them.
plane is intact and they're all on the wings.
Very cool. It's only been like, what, 3 weeks? 3.5 weeks?
3 weeks at sea on the wing of a floating airliner.
They're all good.
It's like the recipe for a good book.
So that's kind of silly. The first time I saw that, I was 95% sure it was a hoax, but you know, I just popped over to CNN.com, took a peek, and there was no. The headline there was something about
Is your family safe from this balloon? That's the kind of thing they post on CNN. The headlines on the side that are all like really short. That's ridiculous.
it is
I don't
ridiculous.
ever
All the whole
What's
on
hiding
those-
in this umbrella?
go on those websites.
Jesus Christ, CNN. You're the worst. It's not a legitimate news source. All right, carry on.
Texas cheerleader mom does something.
Yeah. You won't believe it.
Is that what really is on CNN?
I'll go there right now. And
Yeah, I mean,
I guarantee you there's something.
There'll be
preposterous.
heavy coverage of the Malaysian airliner thing, minimal coverage of the Ukraine crisis or any hard news, and then there'll be a bunch of stories that you might find on Gawker or BuzzFeed.
Yeah, they're all on the side here. Where are they?
A neat trick that can help
Yeah.
you lose 30 pounds. It's another one you might see.
Those are everywhere.
Volcanic island eats another island.
Oh,
That's on here.
is it possible?
Teacher keeps vow. ... 20 years later.
Nice. That's interesting. I gotta click on
I
that
better
to
click on
find out what the heck they're talking about.
CNN's the worst.
It's weird though, because they probably at one time were the best.
Guess who's
They were.
turning... This is under more top stories. Guess who's turning 50?
Who?
Click
That's
to
the
find
headline.
out. Click to find out.
Yeah, you have to click if you want to find out.
Who is it though? Click it.
It's how they get you.
Man.
It's how they get you.
I'm going to do it just for you. I know who it
Oh,
is. I know who it is.
that's love.
Like a lot of people. But it's, you know who it is? Russell Crowe. Happy birthday, Ro Crowe.
Huh. I would have never guessed that.
I was hoping to wish him a happy birthday this year, so
I don't give a
Thank you.
shit. I'm going to be 34 on Thursday. Do you know that?
no.
Still very young
Yeah.
relative to.
Happy birthday.
I told him today I'm still in my
Age.
prime,
You are.
as you can see.
You got a couple more years
Of prime activity.
of prime.
I better get to it.
I went to someone's 40th birthday party this Friday night at Bovines, actually. It was a 40th birthday party, and it was a girl, and I said, this next decade will be the best of your life. And I believe it in a lot of different
You
ways.
believe that?
Sure, the teenage years are footloose and fancy free, but there's so much angst.
Yeah.
And then your 20s are footloose and fancy free with a more adult type of flavor, right? A little more.
The early 20s are. Here's the thing about the 20s. They change the most from end to end. In your early 20s, you ain't got shit to do.
You can't even drink in bars.
By the time you're 29, like your whole life is starting to come together.
Yeah, that's true.
At least
that's
it
a good
should
point.
be. It should be, right?
For me, I got married when I was 23.
So that kind of changes
that young?
tumultuous. It's tumultuous decade.
Or 20. Yeah, I was 24.
Hey,
So-
the 30s are pretty good too, but they're still unsettled, I think.
What do you mean by unsettled?
I'm feeling pretty settled.
Well, you got your home life's kind of crazy right now, right? You got a couple of
but
young
there's
kids.
a routine to it. I mean, it's not like don't know what to expect.
It is,
It's
but
whether or not like my son goes to bed at 7:30 or he's up till 9. That's like my life.
there's a big
That's
swing
really-
there. It's a
That's
wild
really
swing.
it. It's not like I don't know where my life is headed. I know where it's headed.
I think generally when you hit your 40s, you're kind of cast your check, or if you've sown your field.
Your lot.
Yeah, you've made your stake in life, and
Okay.
so you kind of just enjoy what you got before you start to fail physically from 50 on.
All right.
That's awful.
That is awful.
Maybe it's just something that someone who's 42 tells himself to make him feel better.
Right.
I was thinking, my wife brought me home a shirt, and it says Italia on the front.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I've officially become a 40-plus something old man Italian guy in Seneca Falls.
Yeah.
Because that's who wears it. There isn't an Italian man, senior citizen, let's say, who doesn't own multiple Italia shirts
It's true.
or hats or socks
It's
or
like about my
pants.
grandfather right now. He
That
totally
is
sports
awesome.
those.
It's so true.
He has a belt buckle. He's got it all. That's the way it is.
Yeah, and now I am part of that exclusive club. Matter of fact, when I wear that shirt around town, I'll probably get nods. I might learn a secret handshake.
For sure.
I might get invited to make limoncello or something.
Maybe you will.
Asked to play in a bocce league. Or maybe organize a bocce tournament.
That's what you have to look forward to in your 40s.
So anyway, Sauce Pod listeners, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. It's a hot new music / audio content, video content service from Apple.
iTunes you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll have to check that out.
I think it's going to stick. I think that one's going to stick. So subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher.com, on YouTube by searching for fingerlakes1.com. Subscribe to that channel. Our RSS feed is at the saucepod.com, thesaucepod.com. So you can connect to us that way, and we'll always be here for you.
Yeah, get fed.
So, hey, I got a heavy news. We already touched on a little news with that Syracuse surgeon story, but heavy news cycle this week on the Sauce Pod. Dateline. South Portland, Maine. Broken Maine ATM spits out $37,000.
That's nice.
A malfunctioning ATM in a bank in Maine has dispensed $37,000 in cash to a man who requested only $140. South Portland police say they responded to the TD Bank branch Thursday morning after getting a call from a woman who said a man was spending an unusual amount of time in the ATM, at the ATM, that she was waiting to use. Officers found the man stuffing cash into a shopping bag. The money was returned to the bank, and bank officials say they don't want to press charges, but police continue to investigate, which I don't know what else there would be to investigate.
What do you do in
So
that situation?
if that
Yeah.
happened to you, would you bring it back to the bank, or would you stuff it in your shopping bag?
Well, I think if you were going to bring it back in the bank, you'd have to stuff it in a bag anyway. So if they were to charge him for like stuffing it in a bag, he'd say, "Look, I can't leave this. This is $37,000 cash."
Yeah,
You think
I'm not
it
going to
was in
leave it here.
20s or hundreds?
Probably.
They don't have hundreds in bank machines, ATMs, do they?
They also don't have $37,000 in bank machines around here. You know, like that's a lot of money to have in an ATM machine.
Yeah, and I would imagine that
In South Portland, Maine.
that they just cleared it out too. They probably gave him everything.
Oh, absolutely. It's just
It malfunctioned.
yeah. Now, if that happens to me, I mean, you know, there's a camera in the
Yeah,
machine. It's
there's
sitting
no
right
way.
there.
True.
There's also a record of the transaction. I mean,
Yes.
it's not. It's going to spit out an error report that says, "Sorry, I malfunctioned. Please fix me." And they're going to know it was you because you're the last person that put your info in there.
It's true.
There's
And
no
you're-
way to get around that.
Right. But this guy may have been trying.
Yeah, but like you said, you do have to put it in a bag to bring it back. You can't just leave it in there like a
Well, I was trying to
one of
think,
those money wind booths
Like
where it's
if
just
it
floating around. You got to stuff it in your shirt.
if it was in 20, if it was in hundreds, it would be, like 2 wads of cash like this.
Yeah, a lot. If that was if
But
it
if
was
it was
hundreds.
in 20s,
If it's in hundreds, what is it?
Be
370 of them,
Yeah, if it was hundreds.
right?
Yeah.
Am I right on that?
If it was
so if
20s,
it was 20s,
it would be
multiply that by 5.
185.
No,
1,850.
Yeah.
1,850.
So I mean, it
Bills.
can't be like this much. You think?
Yeah, it's not that much, but it's not that crazy. But
But
So
it
I'm
is if
saying
it's-
shopping
if
bag
it's- if
seems
it's
a little
shooting out like
dramatic.
it does on that Monopoly TV show there or whatever that my son watches, where it just shoots everywhere.
It could have been a Bed Bath & Beyond or Yankee Candle shopping bag.
Or it could have been a Wegmans
Grocery
Earth bag.
Or a Wegmans organic produce bag. Did you see
Mhm.
that?
Or
They have
yellow,
special,
or green.
which I don't understand. That plastic's organic friendly and the other plastic isn't.
I think it's just so they know at the checkout that you. I figured it was
Oh.
just so they knew at the checkout that you
I haven't seen them, so I
No,
don't
I
really
thought
know.
it was to
tagged it
appease
the right
those
way.
organic food fans who don't want their food touching an ordinary plastic bag.
Oh, I can't imagine that.
So it's made out of corn
That's
or
what
something.
even Wegmans isn't going to go for that bullshit
Yeah, it seems a little-
theory.
Hey, Dateline, Lufkin, Texas. Woman complains to police about marijuana quality.
Dang.
Police in East Texas have arrested a woman after she called them to complain about the quality of the marijuana she purchased from a dealer. Lufkin Police Sergeant David Casper said Monday that an officer went to the home of 37-year-old Evelyn Hamilton to hear her complaint that the dealer refused to return her money after she objected that the drug was substandard. Casper said she pulled the small amount of marijuana from her bra when the officer asked if she still had it. She was arrested Friday on charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. Hamilton said Monday that she spent $40 on seeds and residue. She said she called police when she got no satisfaction from the dealer's family.
She demanded satisfaction. And in Texas, if you demand satisfaction,
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
to give it to you, or else you can call the police. I believe that's true. If you demand satisfaction in Texas, they have to give you satisfaction, or else you can call the police on them. Especially where drugs are concerned. That woman's 37 years old. That's
She thought that would be a good way to
3
resolve
years
it.
older than I am, and her life's already over.
Yeah.
She's on the downward slope.
I'd say so.
Mysterious Tucker, did you ever keep weed in your bra?
Did you ever call to complain about the quality of weed?
If I was going to hide marijuana,
That's where you'd put it.
probably one of the 2 places I'd hide it.
Did you ever use a brassiere as just like a storage container or like some mobile, like a lot of people will use a pocket?
Yeah, will you put
Oh, yeah.
cash in there?
Yeah.
And all girls do this?
Yes.
Huh.
Strange.
Really?
It's not really that strange.
It's
You
a
put it
thing.
in the front or in the side or
Put it anywhere,
in
really.
the strap?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
The
Wow.
thing about that is I got nothing going on here that I can store. That's tight to your body, and it's like a cup, so you can definitely store things in it. I got none of that going on.
It's pretty
here.
handy.
Yeah, I
I could put it in my boot, maybe. but
Men
that's
would
it.
use a sock.
Yeah, but I suppose that's the thing. You'd stick it in your sock. But women, it's up top. You don't have to bend over. You just here. This weed is substandard.
And you almost always have one on, so it's
Almost
always.
Except when you're home.
There's
Or in
some
bathing
some
suit.
ladies go out and about.
A bathing suit is a bra.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I would
I don't
put stuff in
understand
my
why
bathing suit too.
everyone makes a discretion between the two.
That's
A,
true.
they're different.
bikini is a bra and underpants.
It's a different makeup.
Not,
The material's different.
So I would
yeah,
say
it's not like thin cotton or anything,
There's
but
an
it is what
internet
it is.
to it.
yeah, but like in
There's
a
an
brassiere, you
Just
have like
logged on to my internet.
the Underwire,
Yeah.
and I would say most bathing suits do not have that.
What's
There's
up with
some-
this underwire and bras? That seems painful.
It's all about support. It's
Yeah,
supportive,
It's not painful.
and it's not painful.
Saucy Joe, did you ever go get up a girl's shirt, go and get a little milk? and and,
Let me stop you there. Yeah, no, go ahead. Carry on.
and you felt that clothes hanger type
The underwear?
Yeah, the underwire.
Yeah, sure.
I don't find that sexy. Underwire. I prefer my bras with no underwire.
You prefer just a floppy bra.
No, just
It's not. It's not always made of metal. There's sometimes they will plastic
I think it's
reinforce the bottom.
plastic.
Yeah. Well, he's this is back in the day when bras were made.
I mean, they might be wire.
they call it underwire.
But it's not. It's a lot. Most of the time, it's just a hard plastic.
Yeah, I gotta think nowadays, cause you wash them.
Yep.
That's true.
You know what my wife does with her bras? Hangs them on the fucking doorknob to the bathroom, so you can never close the goddamn door.
I think
and
all
I,
girls do that.
and I say, listen, I want to close the door. Because she doesn't care to close the door when she's in there and the kids are running around. But I go in there, I got the iPad, doing my thing, and I want the door.
It's your privacy
I got the
time.
door closed. Every time I try, I gotta fucking. I take them off and I forcefully throw them to the ground. And sometimes I'll just yell because I know she's downstairs. I'll yell like, "Bras are on the floor again!" I'll throw them down there because I get mad at her.
It's pretty dramatic.
Well, I get really incensed.
God forbid guests come
I mean,
over, they'll think you live in a brothel or some type of whorehouse.
It's not that. It's that I ask her, please don't do that. Please close the door to the closet when you're done in there so that cold air doesn't come in. Please turn off the light. And it never gets done. It's like she tries to make me mad.
No.
And I don't have any flaws, so it's not understandable to me that she keeps fucking this stuff up.
See, but
34
like, do
years
you ever
old.
put a towel on the door?
No.
That means
What?
they're having sex and don't go in.
Right. No, why would I hang
thought it
a
was a-
towel on the door? We have a towel hanger. That's where the towels go.
I don't have a towel hanger.
A doorknob is for opening a door. It's one purpose.
You don't have a towel hanger like in your bathroom?
No.
Like a doily ring or something that you throw a towel through?
A doily
A
ring?
towel rack? Do you have a rack?
No.
Wow.
I lay it like on the long side of the bathtub.
Oh, really? What doesn't the edge get wet as where it touches the bottom of the tub? That's the worst. Because towels get heavy when they get wet.
I don't think so.
Sometimes we hang ours over the curtain or the towel
Yeah.
rod
I
there.
can see that.
I'm talking about shower curtain rod.
But yeah, no.
Sometimes, or one thing that my wife and I have a thing like that about is in the morning when she wakes up, it's usually still dark out. She lets the dog out, turns on the light in the backyard, and then goes about her business. And then when I get up, it's light out. I can't even tell that light's on.
It's on all day.
So usually later that night, I'll get home and I'll be like doing something in the kitchen sink and look out the window, and that light will be on. And we've been through this so long. So now what I'll say is like, I was like, oh, somebody left the light on. That's what I'll say, And she got so mad. But she would lie about it too sometimes, Like early on in this light.
Like it wasn't her.
War.
Into it.
Yeah,
In your early 30s.
yeah, well,
late 20s.
she'd say, I'd say, oh, left the light on again. And she'll say, oh, I did. I just turned it on.
Just now.
So, yeah, these are things that happen when you live with the same person for a decade, right?
Yeah. I'm going to be married 10 years this year.
I think it's when you live with someone, period.
Yeah. I don't know. At first,
Well, after time, first year it's like fun. We were living together. What's this going to be like? Who's going to make pancakes? Who's going to,
yeah.
what kind of movies are we going to watch? What types of snacks are we going to eat while we're watching movies? How many rooms will we have sex in?
Yeah, and now it's, will she leave that bra on the door one more time so that I snap and lose my mind?
There's a young female employee of FingerLakes1.com who has recently moved in with her boyfriend to an apartment. You know, remember those days?
Great times.
And they're all very exciting. You can see it in her eyes. You know, it's very, very exciting. She's becoming an adult. She's going to cohabitate with her boyfriend. And she asked for more hours because needs to pay that rent because this guy doesn't have a job. I don't know anything about that. Maybe he's a student. Maybe he's a doppelganger. You know, could be anything. I don't know this guy. But, you know, I see through that bright-eyed excitement and youthful lust. And what I see is about 6 to 8 months from now, just a total disaster.
Yeah, fallout.
Yeah. And then,
that's,
you know, who's taking the TV? Who's taking the TV? Who's taking the easy chair?
Saying?
Who's taking the dog?
What are you going to say, Monsieur Cycle Girl?
Nothing.
She said that's a recipe for disaster, right? Yeah. I mean, and this young girl, I wish her the best. I hope it all works. I hope they get married.
I've lived with a few people in my time, and one income is recipe for disaster. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Could be a wrong opinion.
Well, you know, it's not for everybody, but.
Tommy Two-Tone hanging out in the chat room.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, hasn't said anything.
Been a long time since old Tommy Two-Tone was in there.
Did, so both of you guys have lived with someone? Yeah.
Yep.
Lived with a few people.
I have to.
You know, I never had a, oh, yes, well, I had male roommates, but there was a bunch of us.
I've never had a female roommate.
In college?
No.
I lived with a
showed
group.
up at college. I thought this one girl was my roommate. I get there. She was my neighbor. I had a single.
Oh, wow. Lucky you.
I know.
You really lucked out.
I did.
I lived with a group of 4 other people, and 3 of them were male. But that was only for like 6 months of my life. Otherwise,
I think
I've
it's
lived with
ruined
women.
me, though. It's made it harder for me to...
So live with people?
Yeah.
That's a natural thing. It's the same for all humans. You just
you're no.
It's a weird thing when you
But then I had to deal with it later in life.
I love
so like
my
when
wife
it was
a
time
lot.
to move in with a boyfriend, it was
and my
like,
kids, but I don't like living with them.
all hell broke loose.
If I didn't have to live with my wife and kids, forget about it.
Now I heard on the way here.
Does that sound harsh?
Yeah.
Sounds harsh,
but it's not. I mean, it's the reality of things.
Yeah, it depends on how you explain it. The postscript.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna leave that up there for discussion.
On the way here, I heard on the radio, some radio show, this girl wrote in, I've been happily married for 5 years, and I believe
unhappily for 15.
I believe the reason we're happily married is that we sleep in separate beds. And she was saying her friends give her the business because they think there's underlying issues on why they don't sleep in the same bed, and then it's bad.
No, I don't know.
I don't think that alone would be the reason for a happy marriage or an unhappy marriage. I don't think that alone would be.
Not at all.
So it just must, if they both
I
agree.
think her friends are. She's a young girl. She's only been married 5 years, so let's assume she's a younger girl. So her friends are probably saying, "Oh, you sleep in separate beds means you don't have sex. You like you guys.
You're supposed to love him and want to be close to him.
Cuddle.
You have to be that close to them for 8 hours at a time. That's just crazy talk.
In the sweaty heat of summer,
feet on me. Get away from
through
me.
periods. Through periods.
What about that?
Well, once a month she's bleeding.
Okay.
You
Does
know?
that have to do with anything?
Do you really want to be that close to someone who's having a vaginal discharge?
Yeah, but you're that close to people bleeding all the time, and you don't know it.
Right, but you're not laying in bed and half naked.
Yeah, but you could be eating lunch with them.
Yeah,
you could be. You could be.
You are.
But I feel like that's
all
way worse than
I'm
laying in bed with them.
None of that bothers me. I have blood.
I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, it's all normal.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I have a feeling that my wife is probably more put off by the state of my hygiene than I am with hers at most times, would be my guess. And I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I would assume so, too.
All right. Dateline. North Reading, Massachusetts. Home intruder turns out to be a duck.
Dang.
Police in Massachusetts responding to reports of an intruder in a woman's home quickly whacked the case. A North Reading woman called police Sunday from her upstairs bedroom to report that she heard loud banging noises downstairs and feared someone had broken into her home. Officers who responded found no sign of a break-in, but during a quick search of the home, police found a soot-covered wood duck. Not a wooden duck, but that's a species of wood.
Like from a fireplace, soot?
Police say it appears the duck got in through the chimney.
Okay.
An officer caught the duck and released it in a nearby pond.
I thought when you said that and said suit, I imagined a duck in a suit. Right. It was strange.
Mysterious Taco Girl, do you get concerned when you hear noises downstairs in your home at night?
My bedroom is downstairs.
Oh, it's even scarier if you hear a noise.
So, no.
Saucy Joe, how about you? Be honest now. You're sitting at home.
It's happened before.
Homes make strange noises.
No, it's happened before.
You get used to your home.
Like the dog has knocked something over.
You startled because you got to protect your family.
Yeah.
In the case of an intruder. There's very rarely an intruder, though.
No, I've never had an intruder in my home. I actually have. His name was Rudy.
He is an intruder.
No, I've had intruders in my home before. No, I have never done that. Actually, that doesn't happen often.
I've heard noises and gotten up to investigate. And to be honest with you, when I was in the process of investigating, I was like, what am I going to find? That was a loud noise.
Yeah. What am I going to find?
And it's less fear for my own safety than fear of, the one of the scenario movies taking place where my daughter and, our wife are somehow in harm's way. Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah, and I need to then convince police to, help find them, and they won't, and then I have to go at it alone.
Vigilante justice. Yeah, I understand.
I think the most I've ever been scared is I got home. My alarm system had gone off, so you get a call. So I come home and my doors are open. So I think that was probably.
And you don't know why? You still don't know why?
I think it's probably the wind.
Guy could still be in there.
I searched my house.
Biding his time, he could be in the duck work.
With a rifle in arm.
Did you say duck work?
So you had a rifle in arm and you were searching? Loaded rifle?
Yep.
What do you think would have happened if you came upon an intruder? Would you have told him to put him up?
I don't know.
Don't move. I got a gun. And then he would have probably ran immediately. And you would have shot. You think you would have shot?
I don't think I would have shot at him, but maybe at his feet.
If he was running away?
My whole goal is if it's a person, I'd shoot at their feet.
You tell him to dance.
Just say,
dance.
I'm not joking around.
That's serious.
So he could tell all his other friends to stay away.
A rifle seems unwieldy in that scenario. Like
close quarters, yeah.
A handgun seems more.
I just don't have a handgun. I got a rifle.
Okay.
I think in all situations, having any type of firearm in your home for that type of situation is you're gonna have a higher percentage of harming someone you care about than an intruder.
I think I'd be okay. Have you ever shot a rifle?
Yeah,
Many
I actually
times.
have shot a rifle.
Yeah, so I mean, you really got to think about it because it's scary. It's loud.
Well, it depends on the kind of rifle.
It's scary. It's
We're
loud.
we're not talking.
What if
we're
you
not talking about a 22 here.
What if
Where are we?
What if you came across an intruder, and then you shot him in the feet, and then all of a sudden the lights came on, and it was a giant surprise party for you by your friends, and you just shot one of your friends in the feet?
Right.
I don't think that would happen.
Well, of course. That's why it would happen.
Is it more likely that you would have that rifle to protect your home from an intruder and actually be an intruder than you shoot him in the foot?
What's more likely, a surprise party for you
Or
by your friends who love you?
Oh, most certainly the surprise
Or-
party. Well, except they know I hate surprise parties. Everyone, I hate them.
That's why it would be such a big surprise. But the real surprise would be your friend got her foot shot off.
I think I'd see I wouldn't shoot into a dark room ever. Because honest to God, I'd be more nervous about putting a hole in the wall and being pissed.
It would be a knee jerk, but you are on high alert right now. Your alarm has gone off. Your door is open. You got a rifle in hand. You're entering your home.
All right, so for all the robbers out there, I don't have it fully cocked though.
Half cock.
Yep. So I would have to physically put the bolt action back in and then pull the trigger.
Okay. Well, that's good. It's not you're not ready to go.
That's safer.
It's a little safer, sure.
Hey, for a period of time, I was a woman living by herself.
Single. Yeah.
And I know I live in town, but it feels like I live in the woods sometimes.
Sure,
So
well,
you're a
sure.
little isolated over there.
Yeah. So it's dark.
Did you have a dog at that point? What was
Yeah,
it?
but a dog can't shoot a gun.
Yeah, but he would. If there's an intruder, the dog would have sniffed him out.
My dog's a softie.
My joke was awesome.
I don't know if I had a dog at that time.
Those were dark times.
I don't remember. I think I did, but I don't think she was there.
Because the door was open.
Yeah, she would have been. If the door was open, she would have been long gone, but she must have been at a party.
Which brings me to my next story.
It's over with Winnie.
Dateline, Hamilton, Ohio. Dog escapes Texas backyard, ends up in Ohio 3 days later.
No way.
A small dog that escaped its fenced-in yard in Texas was found outside a Southwest Ohio animal shelter, and its owners have no idea how he traveled more than 1,000 miles in just a few days. The
Must have walked there.
The 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix named Corbin dug a hole under a fence in his backyard in Killeen, Texas on March 25th. He was found Saturday tied to a bench outside the animal shelter in Hamilton,
Oh, that's awful.
about 30 miles north of Cincinnati.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those too good to be true stories, Corbin's owner Mike Saiz told the Cincinnati Enquirer. This isn't the first time he dug a hole under the fence. One time he was waiting for us on our front porch. The other 2 times we had to pick him up from the local pound. And
They never had to go to Ohio, though.
a surveillance camera at the Animal Friends Humane Society in Hamilton recorded a woman leaving Corbin at the shelter late Friday night. Staff found him the next day. He was in good shape, just soaking wet from rain and a little scared, said Kurt Merbs, supervisor of Butler County's Dog Warden Division. Authorities are hoping to identify the woman and see if they can get answers about how Corbin ended up in Ohio.
It's interesting because he's such a small dog that he could travel that great distance.
He certainly couldn't have walked at Dotson.
Yeah, a larger
Chihuahua.
dog I could see covering that ground, but even then, not in
Not
3 days.
1,000 miles.
It's a long run, man.
Must have hitched a ride.
Yeah, dog ran away because his owner
got a
named
really-
it Corbin.
He's got a really big thumb.
The dog was like, "This owner sucks. I need a cooler name."
The staff located Saiz after finding a microchip on him that contained his owner's information. They called my wife, and she told me that they found our dog, but she didn't sound happy about it. I asked if he was okay, and she told me that he was fine. I then asked where the shelter was, and she said Hamilton. Not Hamilton, Texas, but Hamilton, Ohio.
It would be a bit of a shocker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mysterious Taco Girl, when you went to the Great White North for our mutual friend's bachelorette party or whatever, there was a thing. Yeah, you guys went to Canada with my wife, and my dog tried to follow her.
Really?
Yeah, we found him out in Tyre. He was in Tyre. He ran away. Tried to follow you
I
guys.
didn't know that
That
story.
was
He was
Oscar.
gone for 2 days, right?
He was. Oscar was gone for 2 days.
And we were living the dream
Yeah.
with the President of the United States, actually the President of the United States lawyer.
Same thing.
Yeah, they're one and the same.
Dateline, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dispute over man sparks rat retaliation.
Dang.
Philadelphia police are looking for several suspects in what appears to be a case of rat retaliation. Investigators said an ongoing dispute over a man escalated late Wednesday when a woman in her 20s, her mother, and a pack of 8 or 9 other women went to the victim's house with a baseball bat and a box containing an unknown number of white rats. The group allegedly bashed in windows
Why bring the box of rats?
and the front door and then dumped the rodents into the home. Police said one woman in the group also punched the 30-year-old victim and took her purse. Authorities are still trying to track down the suspects. A family member of the victim was taken to the hospital amid the commotion to be checked out for a possible heart problem. You
That
guys,
was a footnote at the end.
you guys afraid of rats? 'Cause
Afraid?
yeah, if
No.
I see a rat, I'm going to jump up on a table.
Get out of town.
Hell yeah, rats are
Rat. It's
disgusting.
It's just a thing. It's
Dirty.
It's a squirrel.
No, squirrels are.
I hate squirrels too, though.
Rats are filthy and
So are squirrels.
got the long to the tails that aren't bushy.
Right. But you shave that squirrel's tail and it looks like a rat.
Just a possum. A little old possum.
Possums are gross. They have a gross tail.
Was that the last time I was here?
I think so.
The possum
I
killing?
think so. It's
Yeah,
been so
quite
long
a
ago.
story.
It's been a long time. You know, a lot has happened since you've gone. I'm an ordained minister now.
Nice.
Oh,
Who are you
yeah.
going to marry?
My cousin Mark and his
Why
fiance.
you
That's exciting.
assume that was why he became ordained and not
you
because
didn't
he?
think I just had a change of life and was suddenly like really religious and church just accepted me automatically.
No.
And now he preaches every Sunday morning
I do.
at the Third Presbyterian.
I have a pancake breakfast.
Fish fry Friday.
That's where I do my proselytizing.
Bible school session after Mass.
Yeah.
Maybe
for the youngins, for
maybe
the young folk. Got to hook them young.
church field trip.
Yeah. We've done
No,
that.
that's not what I thought it was.
So what does it entail? How many hours did you study and sabbaticals did you take?
I got off the phone with him after his request. And I got off the phone at 8:30, and by 8:45 and $8 later, I was ordained.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I got my credentials in the mail, which is basically like something that they printed out on a printer. It says, apparently, laws.
At the Vatican.
You just have to I think the law says in New York or most counties, it's by county, I think, but they're general, is that you just have to be in good standing with your church. A minister in good standing with his church, his or her church.
And your church could be anything
Your
you
church
dream
could
of.
be anything,
Yeah.
right? So I was ordained through the Universal Life Church,
Nice.
and their thing is just like, whatever religion you happen to be, we're
Great.
all. But I'm a minister. I got a pen right here. Wait a minute. Do I have my pen on me? Yeah. Look at this. This is how I'm super official.
What's it say?
What do you mean?
It
What's
says
it say?
ordained
It
minister.
says minister on it. That's how you know that I'm legit.
I
What
think
happens
we
if
should.
the ink runs out?
Listen, the ink never runs out. The ink is eternal.
I think we should all become ordained, and then we can say we're the only podcast on the internet with 4 ordained ministers.
All you need is like $8. I think I could have even done it for free, but I got like a press pass, parking pass.
For what?
What? In case I need
Parking
it.
pass.
Yeah. I should have brought in my materials. It's all in a big folder. Yeah, I got a
what a
parking
riot.
pass, a press pass. It says this vehicle is here on official business, church business. It's all laminated. It's great. It's really hilarious stuff. And I got a guide to divinity that teaches me about different religions.
All for $8.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm excited. So in July, I'll be performing my first service. And listen, I'm open to do other
This
ones.
July, so they just decided to have you
They've been together for like 5 years,
when they get engaged.
like last week.
July.
And I was thinking, oh no,
It's fast.
best man, that's a lot of responsibility. I don't want that. But he's got a brother, so I was thinking, maybe he'll go with his brother, and he did.
And you get to be the minister.
And
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'm just going to be able to enjoy myself.
Yeah, no,
And
not
then he
anymore.
called me and was like, hey, buddy.
Now,
That's his exact
do
words. Hey,
you
buddy.
have to write the service?
No, I'm going to get together with them. I said, I wanted to say what you guys want me to say.
I would say, look,
By the power vested in me, by having $8 and an email address. I know.
I now have a parking pass.
Yeah.
I would meet with them and counsel them, make sure they.
I'm going to. I want to do make sure that they're compatible.
Gotta
What's it
take this
called?
seriously.
I've known her.
Pre-Cana.
Pre-Cana, you gotta do a little pre-Cana with them.
That's super. Yeah. I'm not doing it that way.
And in your church, the minister needs
Jedi.
to be the first one to sexually introduce the
That's
girl
right.
to womanhood, right?
Yep.
So you'll have to have sex with the
think
bride.
I think that's right.
You can make up any rules you want.
I can.
Man.
I'm ordained.
I don't like that rule.
But here's
Very
the thing.
powerful.
I'm open to doing other marriage. I can do gay marriages. If you're gay, listen. If you're out there and you're looking to marry your gay significant other, or
I'm your
straight
man.
significant other.
In New York State, that's possible too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I can do that. I can do anything that's. I can marry anything to anything else that's legal in New York State.
So I couldn't marry my dog.
Nope.
No,
And I couldn't marry a strawberry to a banana in the greatest taste sensation ever.
No.
I can't do it.
No, it's
But I would love, even though I would like to.
It's not the greatest.
I'm just saying, it's a marriage, isn't it? It's a fruit marriage. Although strawberry's not really a fruit.
That's cloning.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guess what? That's all the news.
Baby, you got a stew going.
Now, saving this one for a little later in the show, it's Today I Learned with Polly Always, where Polly always teaches us something that we probably didn't know. Great, great segment.
Today I learned with Polly Always.
This is the first time reading this as a minister. It's a little different.
Feels weird.
Feels weird. Might be some objectionable content in here
Should
that
probably put a...
Praise the Lord in there.
doesn't mesh with my church, maybe. We'll see.
Can I get an amen?
Hello, my esteemed Saucepod friends. Today, I learned that, contrary to popular belief, smoking does not result in substantial cost to society in the form of increased medical care.
I've been saying that for years.
Well, this is about what he learned today, not you. This is because smokers die, on average,
Exactly.
10 years earlier than non-smokers,
Exactly.
and therefore do not require extensive and expensive old-age medical care. The Cato Institute, a Washington, D.C. libertarian think tank,
Run by Cato Caitlin.
yeah, run by Cato Kalin, estimates that smokers have saved society an average of 32 cents per pack by dying early. With great sadness, I am Paulie always. P.S. Fuck Roger.
He's sad that all those smokers are dying 10 years earlier.
I don't know whether he's sad about that. I don't
Maybe
know.
he's just down.
Maybe he's just he's feeling blue. He's got a case of the Mondays. What do you think about that, Mysterious Taco Girl?
It's fantastic.
Fair enough.
No, I've honestly been saying that for years. I'm a skeptic when it comes to certain things that people just generally accept. And one of those things is where people said, we need to tax cigarettes because of the high toll it's taken on the healthcare system. That just didn't make sense to me. Because when I go to a hospital, I see a lot of people who live long, healthy lives who are now at the end of their life, requiring years and years of treatment.
But you and I both know that they tax cigarettes because they can tax cigarettes. And that's the
Right,
only
but that's
reason.
an excuse.
Right, but they just need a reason to say that they do it. They
Correct.
do it because they can, and they'll continue to do it at higher and higher rates because they can. Aren't they the worst?
They are.
They are the worst.
I'll teach you guys something.
All right.
Let's hear it.
This last week's episode of Cosmos with Neil Tyson deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson
Carry on.
was about gravity and scale, like they all are, kind of. But anyways, we sent the Voyager spacecraft. It travels 50-something thousand miles per hour.
55, I think.
Traveling through space day after day, year after year, launched in the 60s? Late 60s, early 70s?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that thing's been going for a long time. It will reach the nearest star to us in 87,000 years.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that the universe was the United States and I was Earth. That nearest star would probably be in proportion about as far as, let's say Saucy Joe, you were Earth. Mysterious Taco Girl,
Are you paying
relative.
attention?
Rel-
Your Earth.
Relative to the nearest star, if the United States geographically was the universe, Mysterious Taco Girl will be the nearest. That's how huge, and incomprehensibly huge, the universe is.
Yeah. It's like a dog going from Texas to Ohio in 3 days.
It's inexplicable. So, coming up here on 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the National Championship College Basketball game is about to tip off.
Why does it start so late?
Oh, it's a West Coast world. We're all just living in it. Time to, before we get out of here, find out what everybody recommends this week.
Oh, no.
Mr. Stucker, what do you recommend this week? After 3 weeks off, you must have a real doozy. Probably had a list of 20 or 25 things and had to just narrow them down to just one.
I'm going to recommend Climbing Vines Brewery. I don't think I've done that yet.
Climbing Vines Brewery.
Climbing Vines with a B.
Vines.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying.
Where?
I've been there.
I've been there with you.
Yeah, we went there together.
I went there again Saturday. And I'm a huge fan.
Where is it?
It's on that road.
They have big doors.
It's on the other side of Seneca Lake.
On the west side of Seneca Lake?
14.
Yep, so 14.
Probably
It's just off 14.
Northern Yates County, Southern Ontario.
The only way I know to get there is if you're coming from Penn and you just at the top of the lake, just jut right over to Seneca Lake.
Right.
Right around there.
So
it's
it's
a little
probably
ways
in
down.
Geneva then, kind of.
But it's a little ways out.
McDougal?
McDougal.
It's really good. They have good beer.
Is that what you mainly like about it, is the quality of the beer?
Yep.
Okay, nice, like good local recommendation. Saucy
I
Joe.
don't know. I don't know what to recommend right now. We take a quick scan at my new apps. I did get a new app that I really liked.
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna find it right now.
Is it Pinterest?
No, it's not Pinterest. It's an educational app.
Is it Snapchat?
It's not a time-wasting, curtain collecting app.
You obviously have never been on Pinterest.
Which I think
then.
Pinterest. That's what Pinterest is,
Have
right?
you-
It's for
have you-
collecting fabric patterns and things like that. That you
First off, I'm on Pinterest and there's no fabric on it whatsoever.
like. No, that you've seen.
Have you guys
Believe
ever...
me, I guarantee you that thousands of women have pinned fabric patterns.
They have, but you know what? Thousands of people have also pinned
What have you
Dog
pinned?
how to
photos.
build great raised garden beds.
You just asked me. I built some awesome raised beds at my house. They're boss. They're made of cedar.
Their boss.
I know, but it's so expensive. I have 3.
Have you guys ever
I'll build you some.
heard of an app called
I'll
Angry
take
Birds?
my shirt off and wander around your yard with a hammer and shit. It'll be awesome. You just feed me beer from climbing vines. What,
It's
say
a
that
deal.
again?
I have a growler at home.
Yeah.
I should have brought it. I was going to bring it.
A
You should've
growler,
brought
you
it.
know?
Damn it, I
Would have made the
forgot.
show so much better.
I agree.
I just wonder if you guys have ever heard of an app called Angry Birds.
I'm familiar with
Did you
that.
hear about the guy who was dressing up like an Angry Bird to pick up little children?
Really?
No.
Yeah, the Angry
No.
Bird's the new Mickey Mouse.
My
appearance.
son would totally go with that.
I know. It's pretty smart, but it's...
Yeah.
Sick smart.
This is called. It's called Incredible Numbers. It's by Professor Ian Stewart, if you know who that is. It's got. Look at this. Wait, let me see. See this? Those are all different things that involve numbers, and
Primes,
they talk.
infinity.
And it's all about numbers and how cool they really are. And some of the coolest things in here are things like all the secret codes one. Oh, that's great. It talks about it talks about different encryption methods, and it shows you how they work, and the Enigma machine from World War II. Pretty awesome. This is a good app.
What's the Enigma machine from World War
That
II?
was the way that the Germans encrypted their messages,
Oh.
right? And then we cracked it. And so that's how we knew that things were going
I thought
on.
Russell Crowe cracked that code.
It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Russell Crowe. Yeah, he probably did.
I recommend a new show on HBO called Silicon Valley. It debuted on Sunday night, half-an-hour show.
Wouldn't have apps like this without Silicon Valley.
It's right by Mike Judd.
Judge.
Mike Judge. Yeah, it's a was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know what to say other than that. It's set in Silicon Valley during the actually in modern current times where, you know, someone, a programmer or a coder or could develop an algorithm, and next thing you know, they are, you know, purchased for $50 million overnight.
How it works.
But it's a comedy.
That's how Mike Judge does it. He's a comedian.
Yeah,
He writes comedy.
There's a company in there that's supposed to be Google, or supposed to be like Google, but they're called like Julio or something like that with an H or something like that. But that's yeah. Watch it for yourself. Judge for yourself. I recommend it.
Is that a joke? Judge for yourself.
Judge for yourself.
This is Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge, that we're talking about here. Just so to put it in context of what kind of show we're talking about.
No, it's not like that.
I'm just saying it's the same.
It's not
guy.
It's the same
animated.
guy.
It's from the mind of Mike Judge.
It's not animated.
It's the guy who brought you frog baseball and whacking off in a tool shed.
So that's about all I got on the old plate for tonight. Any parting shots?
What's going on your phone there, Mr. Sock Grill? Any parting shots?
Raised garden beds.
Listen, I'll show you my plans.
I have raised garden beds.
You need stakes and planks.
So why did you pin those?
Stakes and planks.
No, I didn't pin anything. I'm looking at other people's pins.
I don't need any fancy website to tell me how to make a raised bed. You need stakes and planks.
Stakes and planks.
That's all you need. And then soil.
It's also what you need to kill and bury a vampire. Done.
You're correct.
Well, thanks for joining us for episode number 143 of the Sauce Podcast. No time this week for the Behavioral Sync by Will Wiles. We'll be back next Monday night. For Saucy Joe, Mysterious Taco Girl, I'm Tony Sometimes. Good night now.